Bonsoir, good afternoon. Usually I'm a good speaker, and Hannah asked me to speak in English, so I'll speak in English, but sometime it will be in Hebrew, and sometime it will be in English and in French, because it's a very emotional moment for me here, and I prepared things to say, but I'm here like for 5 hours in a row, and every 5 minutes I change the subject on which I want to speak about. But I have one thing that is very certain. Those people here are the main reason I feel hope. I see this beautiful hall in Paris, everybody is well dressed, but we all come from a place which doesn't look like that. And I'm from the better part of this place. And I know that after 2 minutes of conversation with Ali, or by looking at Jonathan's eyes, or sitting yesterday with Huda, or listening to Lama, and each and every person in this row of person, and I'm not talking about Nava, which is a second mother for me, those persons are my brothers and sisters, and no leader, Israeli or Palestinian, will convince me otherwise. Never. No leader will use the Bible or the Quran in order to put us apart, because they are doing it very well. But not here, not in this hall, not on this stage, not in my heart. And now I'll go to something that I tried to write. War is good for hatred. It's a monster feeding itself. It's a living hell for people who want to live. But in fact, we all want to live. I'm a translator. I translate plays. I translate plays from Hebrew, pardon, du français à l'hébreu, from English to Hebrew. I translate Shakespeare, I translate Molière, I build bridges of culture. But the real bridge I want to build is Israeli people learning Darwish and Palestinian people learning Bialik or Agnon. But I live in a place that it is so difficult to build these bridges. But we're trying, and we're trying all the time. I can tell you a small story that has to do with Paris. Wajdi Mouawad, which is a very famous writer and directeur du Théâtre de la Colline. We made in 2017, he made an experience, he made Tous des Oiseaux, which is a play that deals bravely with the Palestinian and Israeli conflict. He went and took a crew of Israelis, Palestinians, Syrians, Greek, French actors from all over the world, and German also, and he made a play of 4 hours in Arabic, Hebrew, French, and English, and German, in order to make some kind of, he told me when we first met, by the way, this is like a little Wajdi Mouawad and me, we were born on the same littoral, on the same coast. He was born not far from Beirut. I was born in Tel Aviv. But in order to meet, we had to get here in Paris. This is a reality we have to try and change. And with this play, with Tous des Oiseaux, who was a very big success, but especially a big debate and a brave debate about the Israeli and Palestinian conflict, we managed to do the play in a lot of places, and next year, for the first time, it will happen in Hebrew in Tel Aviv. It's an important achievement, I think, for us to continue and create culture bridges and talk about frightful things and face problematic issues on stage bravely, even and especially in a time of war. They call the 7th of October, which is for us, and there are people that we are all infected by the 7th of October. I'm sitting here and I see faces. I see the face of Yitzhak Rabin, who was my neighbor. I lived in the 2nd floor and he lived in the 8th floor. I was raised on the dream of peace, but the dream is not only broken, it became something, and I really, what Lama says is for me, the strongest thing. It's not we should try to do everything we can in order to do something, in order to re-educate and to reshape the fact that we don't see each other as humans anymore. Our leaders are working very hard in order for Jews and Palestinians to see each other not as humans. It seems like unreal. It seems like something that you can believe that is possible, but this is the reality we live in. So I see Rabin's face, I see Carmel Gat, who was a friend of mine and was a hostage in Gaza, and I went hundreds of times with her pancart, with her picture on the streets in order to bring her back, but she was murdered because Hamas murdered her and my government neglected her to die there. This is unbearable. I see the eyes of the Israeli murdered on the 7th of October, and I see the eyes of the thousands and thousands of Palestinians, children and women and men killed in this world, murdered in this world, and the Israeli media trying to camouflage the story. No, we are here to try and speak truth. We will not change reality by camouflaging the reality. I come from the oldest art, theater, the oldest campfire, you know, the old man or the old woman telling a story. And in Africa, in Asia, everywhere, people gathered around to hear a story. But what is the story? The story is about humanism, always. It's always Othello and Shakespeare and Molière. It's every time it's about our weaknesses, our dreams, our failures. And I have my father from Tunisia. My mother is from Poland and from France. And I was born and raised on the fact that we are all humans. But today it seemed like a naive dream. But I cannot lose this naivety, because if I lose this naivety, I will lose hope. And in the area and in the time that we live, we don't have the privilege to lose hope. I have 3 children living in Israel. I want to stay in Israel. I want to coexist with my Israeli friends, with my Israeli brothers, and with my Palestinian brothers. And this is why, even in my broken English, that I will be ashamed later on when I will see it on screen, I'm just a second. Okay, sorry. I will just finish. Sorry. I'm good in art, but when I have to speak like this, something is. By the way, the counter effect of a flood is a lot of little drops that create hope. So this is the counter effect of a flood. But I tell you a little story in order to finish this part. We are doing Tartuffe in Israel now. Tartuffe, comme les Français. Je peux parler en français une seconde? D'accord, alors un tout petit peu. On connaît tous Tartuffe, on connaît l'histoire. Et on sait que c'est quelqu'un qui utilise la religion, d'accord, pour aveugler une autre personne. Et je sais que la plupart des Français connaissent le fait que la fin de la pièce a été changée par l'Église. On connaît cette histoire, oui? Molière, en fait, a voulu que cette comédie finisse par une tragédie, d'accord? Et quand on a fait maintenant Tartuffe en Israël, on l'a fini avec la tragédie. Parce que la culture, c'est pas comme la politique, on change pas, ça change pas immédiatement. Mais en hébreu, on dit mechalchel, c'est comme l'eau qui rentre dedans. Et la fin de Tartuffe en 2025 en Israël, Tartuffe reste seul sur scène parce que l'aveuglement et la haine de l'autre. Et le fait qu'on peut être aveugle et perdre sa maison, et perdre sa famille, et perdre... Vous connaissez l'histoire de Tartuffe. C'est quelque chose qui date de 400 ans peut-être ici, mais en Israël, on le vit encore. Et j'espère que in the future, we will have the opportunity to create our own new stories, which will not be only sad stories, will be also happy stories for our children to live on. Thank you.